This is DW News Africa. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, it's a three-horse race that's too close to call. Malawi heads to the polls in an election that pits the president against his own deputy. The rallies have been young and wild. Most voters are below 30. We'll hear from them and the president, who spoke exclusively to DW.
That's the story of Africa. If you have won an election, then it was fair and fair, transparent. If you have lost, it was corrupt, it was rigged.
Also coming up on the show, after 72 years of the Cannes Film Festival, a black African woman director is in the running for the Palme d'Or for the very first time. The film Atlantiques could make cinema her story for the Senegalese director Mati Diop.
Needed to see black people on screen, like huge, like everywhere.
The votes are in and counting is underway in Malawi's election. The people came out in droves to choose a new president. We know this is a nation hungry for change. We'll learn why it's one of the world's poorest countries. And in Congo, a rock star's reception for Moise Katumbi, who's back in the country after 3 years in exile. But how significant is the return of Joseph Kabila's prominent foe? Protesters in Sudan up the ante. There are calls for a general strike after talks with the military to install a civilian government collapse. Also on the program.
The situation in Zimbabwe keeps getting tighter and tighter for the ordinary person. This is at the back of fuel increases that have happened twice in a space of 4 months.
That report from Zimbabwe, where the economy is said to be in its most dire state since 2008, when inflation soared to 500 billion%. And one of Africa's most influential authors has died. It was Binyavanga Wainaina's mission to change the way the world perceived the continent. We'll be talking about his literary legacy and LGBT activism. To kill or not to kill? Botswana has lifted a ban on elephant hunting, but not everyone agrees. We'll hear the arguments for and against the controversial move. And we'll also hear from the Kenyans, hoping the country's high court will strike down laws that make homosexuality a crime. If they win, Kenya will be the first East African country to decriminalize gay sex. It's not okay to be gay, says Kenya's High Court. A blow for Kenyan LGBT activists as 3 judges reject a bid to strike down laws which criminalize homosexuality, saying the ban does not contravene basic rights set down in the Kenyan constitution. And Eritrea marks 28 years since gaining independence from neighboring Ethiopia. We'll meet some young Eritreans who fled what they say is a brutal dictatorship.